Hey YouTube, so today I'm talking about bonds. Um, why I don't like bonds, or why I don't like government bonds. And if I were to be in bonds, it'd probably be corporate bonds or a hybrid. And the reason why I say that is I mean, if you look at US Treasuries, 30-year, the most you're going to get if you were in invest today into a 30-year Treasury is 2.159. 10-year 1.722. And the big argument is, oh well, this uh, bond index fund is yielding 2.8. That may be true, but over time, what's going to end up happening as those bonds mature, they're going to have to buy whatever's on the market at the time. So what's on the market right now? US 30-year 2.159, 10-year 1.72. So as those bond index funds, those maturity dates come, this is what you're going to get. So the yield on that is just going to continue to go down. I mean, that's just how it is. And just another point to you guys know that I don't like target date funds, and here's another reason why. If you look at, say, German government bonds, they're at a negative yield. Could that happen in the U.S.? Why not? It's happening almost everywhere else in the world. So if your target date fund, sells equities and buys negative yield bonds, what good is it? So, if you look at these current treasuries right now, they're all under 2%, pretty much, except for unless you lock your money up for 30 years. So this is why I don't like bonds. So if you need to lock up your money, you go to CDs. 2.3% for 1 year. You get better money for a shorter duration. Now, I won't do this because if you look over here, let me refresh this. You got online savings accounts right now. A lot of them just dropped. But, you get 2.2, you might be able to squeeze 2.4 out of one. And you're talking, no risk to your money on either CDs or savings accounts. So if you go into, that's why I like corporate bonds. So if you look here, this is a long-term Treasury bond index fund. And if you go to their fees and distributions, let me see if I can zoom in on this a little bit. So you look right here, this shows the past 4 months. You're getting about 3.1 cents a month, 3.2 roughly. And that's going to be pretty consistent for a while. But look at your reinvestment price. So when you were getting 3.1 cents a month per each share, your reinvestment price is $13.73. But now look at it. Now you're getting 3.1 cents and your reinvestment price is $15.29. So if you're reinvesting your dividends, your yield is dropping as that price goes up. Because there's no capital appreciation in bonds. Once the bond matures, it's going to mature at what they bought it at. So you're buying, if you're reinvesting your dividends, you're buying at these higher prices, lower yields. So you take a look at another Fidelity. This is going to be strictly corporate bonds. And you look at the dividend history, you're getting about 3.8, 3.7 cents. And if you're reinvesting those, they'll stay pretty even throughout the past few months. And then you look at, this is one of my favorites because it has some juice. This is FAGIX. And when I say juice, I don't mean leverage. It actually is about 80% corporate bonds and about 20% equities. So it gives you a little bit more of a return of actual capital appreciation, but mostly in a fixed income fund. So if you look at that, 3.4, 3.2, 3.4, and your reinvestment price is pretty much staying the same. And if you compare all of these, one thing that I find very interesting in this is all three. This is the Treasury bond index in yellow, the FAGIX hybrid equity bond fund, hybrid equity corporate bond fund in the red, and the strictly corporate high yield bond fund in the teal. What I find interesting over the last 10 years is how much smoother the corporate bonds have been. It looks like, you know, these Treasury bond fund has had a very rocky path over the past 10 years. So this is why if I were to invest in bonds, I take a little more risk and probably go corporate bonds. Yes, it's going to be risk, but look, you're getting 2% yield in Treasuries. You'll get a 4% yield in the hybrid corporate bond and equity fund, and you'll get almost 5% in the straight high yield corporate bond. So if you're going to be in these, I prefer an active managed fund, and that's just because you give the managers flexibility to get in and out of things. They're not an index, it's just straight stuck on rules, and that's it. Actively managed, yes, you're going to pay for it a little bit. Like, look at the fees, you know, 69 basis points, you know, versus the index fund, which is, you know, 0.03. But I think you get a lot more performance, you get a lot more bang for your buck. You can also play bonds, and I'm not going to go through this in this video, with closed-end funds. And closed-end funds are very similar to these mutual funds in that they're actively managed. But closed-end funds use leverage, usually up to 35% leverage to juice those returns. So, you know, you can get a 8 to 12% dividend yield on a corporate bond closed-end fund, but you're going to have a little bit more volatility in that too as well. So that's what I got for you. I'm not a fan of Treasury bonds at the moment. Don't like them in target date funds. I think you need to control your own bond exposure if you're going to do it. And I like actively managed corporate bonds. I'm not suggesting you buy it, but that's what I like if I were to go into bonds. I actually have no bonds at the moment. So share with me how you feel down below in the comment section. Give me a like, share, subscribe, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye-bye.